All right, this is market recap for November 10th, 2025. As you can see today, we did play pretty bullish. We opened in a premium from last week's close, so we have a premium new week opening gap, which I thought we would come down and touch more, but we didn't. So if we go down to the 4 hour, we can see this gap here. Right here is this new week opening gap. If we actually look from close to open, we did touch equilibrium of it. So, um, as far as that's concerned, obviously it would be cleaner if it touched fulls, right? And if it was fully closed, because as of now, this right here is liquidity void, but touching equilibrium and then showing bullish momentum tells us that we just have so much bullish energy right now that we're not even able to come all the way down to this low. Now, um, from there, everything left on the 4 hour. The pivotal thing about the 4 hour today was this candle right here, and it kind of, in my opinion, set up the entire day. So if you notice here, we have this 4 hour fair value gap over here, right? Extended across, we see reaction here, right? So that validates it. We then come all the way up, close above it, which then makes it an inverse. Personally, at the time, I was bearish, which I got lucky today, I'll say, with my bias. Because we did close and we were bullish on the day, but I thought we'd play bearish to come drag all the way down to here. But what ended up happening is playing with this inverse, we closed, and then we came actually pretty deep into the 4 hour and past it to take out a internal liquidity, and then we continued to play bullish. So if we go down to the 1 hour, you can see that more clearly. Up here is where that 4 hour candle closed, outside of this 4 hour inverse. So you see we dip down into it. This hourly fair value gap is holding strong. I was actually framing this to be a pivotal point for the bearish move. I thought we'd close down here and use that. But what ended up happening was the 4 hour closed out here, making this an inverse. We tap back into it, withdraws at these relative equal lows here. Equilibrium of, at the time, low to high right there, and this sell side liquidity right here, which we tap was our final target, and then immediately shoot back up off of that targeting buy side liquidity up here. 15-minute, not much else. You can see up here, volume just absolutely dies, right? We close that 4 hour candle right here, lose all volume for about an hour, and then we shoot off from here all the way down to my finals for the day, which was this low. And then from there, we continue to play bullish. These are heavy draws down here. Considering this 4 hour, it's likely, well, it did happen, but it was likely that even though we were tapping into this, we didn't have the volume, the bullish volume here, just to tap constant encroachment. We came all the way down here. And what's really close to these? These relative equal lows. So we tap these, and then what's really close to these? Equilibrium and this sell side liquidity right there. So from there, that was our target, and then we immediately came up off of that, hitting this buy side liquidity right as PM session started, caused a little retrace here, and then we played bullish for the rest of the day there. Pretty slowly, but we did indeed play bullish nonetheless. And then there's this 15-minute that kind of just helps keep us up, leading into PM session. Now here's what I was talking about. Market opened, rallied up. See group price starting to round here. This is why I was framing bearish, that and the big liquidity void that we have down at the new week opening gap. Rallied up to the high of the 4 hour, consolidated. I failed actually to see, like I've mentioned, the 4 hour closure here, which would have made this an inverse, right? But either way, playing bearish here, down, like I mentioned, to relative equal lows, sweep that sell side, tag this sell side. Look how we closed at equilibrium. Not a single candle closed below it. And then from there, we played bullish, expanding upwards. We had a change in the state of delivery on the 5-minute here. So then we retraced fairly deep, into this 5-minute here. Equilibrium's here. Closest array is this 5-minute. Tap into that as well as this bullish 1 hour fair value gap. Playing bullish from there. targeting this buy side. We sweep buy side with the intro to PM session, which then causes us to retrace during the 2 o'clock macro, which then we find arrays here that help us get up and going again in the bullish direction. Now the 1 minute time frame trade of the day, in my opinion, is this right here. It's actually the trade that I was framing kind of all morning. Like I mentioned, we had this rally. I saw us lose all volume up here, so I saw us rounding. Well, first off, I saw us here, right? This is accumulation. So I was like, all right, perfect. Accumulation, boom, rally up, manipulation. We're still having this 4 hour grouping around the high. We're going to tip over, which did end up happening. We had many SMTs up here at a time, but they kind of all disappeared, which is a little unfortunate. But but the important thing is this rally up right here used many times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at these closures right at the low. And then finally, we close below it. Well, technically at the 42, but for some reason it's not showing up. So our entry would be probably at that closure. The second we close under this low, that's when I'm entering. But enter there, stop up here. To be safe, if you really wanted, you could put your stop here. But I personally like to be safe given this price action. And then from here we can target, boom, here's break even. So worst case scenario, we tap back to constant encroachment of this 4 hour and you're at a break even. Not too bad. And you can target these lows here. All right, bunch of relative equal lows start here. Profits here, but personally these would be my finals. Even if we were playing bearish and expanding lower, these are going to be my finals. So nice 1 to 4.4. Pretty good. You can see down here. Oops, sorry. You can see down here, come down, sweep this sell side and the sell side, grouping and rounding the price back up. We then get a nice expansion up here, heavy change in the state of delivery here, or this 1 minute change in the state of delivery here works as well. But higher time frame there, boom, play bullish. If we take this low to this high, again, there's that equilibrium. The only array here is that 1 minute, which we tap into, which coincidentally constant encroachment and that 5 minute for value gap. From there we play bullish, but again, I'm not taking this trade during lunch, simply not. And then we come up targeting these buy side. We hit this buy side, retrace a little bit, not as big of a retrace given this huge move here, but this would be a little too much of a move to ask for, I could see. But then come here, 1 minute for value gap, SMT of lows during the macro, play bullish. Here, change in the state of delivery. Here, leaves this fair value gap. If you wanted to, you could take at the closure of that. Stop could be constant encroachment there, targeting who knows what. Probably a fib expansion. Just guessing off of that and the volume, I'm looking at a 1 to 1. Right, so it's a 1 to 3.7, but it looks like it extends up to a negative 1.5. Maybe 7.5. 2's high. We hit that later in the afternoon, but we hit this one, the 1.75. But I don't think, at least personally, I would not pick the 1.75. I'd just take the negative 1 fib expansion and call it. It's a 1 to 3.5. It's still really good. Yeah, but if you wanted to wait for a better entry, but less probability of actually getting in, it's right there. It's a 1 to 4.3. But like I said, I'd much rather be in the trade than in the perfect entry. Yeah, so those are the trades, and we then rallied up. Our targets, obviously, these relative equal highs up here, but that's too big of a move given all that we've already done today. Now, going into the future. Bullish. Obviously, very, very bullish. I like us taking out these highs here and then retracing. Do I think we're going to hit some sort of retrace here? Absolutely. We're losing too much volume. It is possible, but unlikely, that we play bearish high, like on a higher time frame soon, like the next couple hours. what I like is if we look at this, that there's that daily for value up, look in the hourly, it's framed by these highs. So I like maybe a lower time frame retrace here to this hourly for value gap, playing bullish, targeting these relative equal highs here. I guess this one as well. Tapping into that daily, which would then give us that larger retrace we need, probably to take out this low, to then propel us higher up to take all-time highs once again. But like I said, we're losing volume. I would not be surprised if we come take out this low or fill this hourly for value gap overnight. Heck, maybe even lower if we look at equilibrium of this move. We've got it all the way down here. So all that is fair play. But between now and market open, we will see what happens and go from there. But this has been your market recap for November 10th, 2025.